I'm so nervous. I'm just kidding.
That's what's gonna start it. All right, so Chandler just got slept. Chandler got slept really bad.
What the fuck?
Second round.
But I called it.
Yeah,
like
you did.
last week, we had said that I wanted Chandler to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oliveira won.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. Beginning of the fight, Chandler looked great, but I said at the very beginning, I was like, I don't like the way his hands are down, and then I just had that feeling. I was like, dude, I have an ugly feeling he's gonna get slept.
Yeah,
and then boom, he got slept.
Yep.
That's the fight game, man.
Kicked the shit out of Oliveira in the first round, though.
Yeah.
Badly. Like, outside of Oliveira taking him down and getting on his back, like, he was kicking the shit out of him. Because as soon as he got out, it was just, I was like, yeah, Oliveira's going to get stopped, dude. Like, he's getting whooped.
He took an ass beating like a man, dude. Because he and good job on Murtaliata not stopping it when he was taking those shots. Because when he was on his knees and Chandler was holding his head, punching him like he did Hooker, he could have stopped it right there.
Very well could have, yeah. But he stayed in it. Gave him literally I think that was a 1 second difference. I was going to say, like, during the replay, but we were, like, shocked, so I just, whatever. But, like, when he got dropped and he was on, like, in the fetal position, like you just said, like, I feel like a one more second of that, it would have been called.
Yeah.
But other than that, for a while I was disappointed. Even though I told myself, I thought about it in my head, like, before the fight, I was like whoever wins, I'm not going to be upset. Yeah. But I don't know why I was disappointed that Chandler lost.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed that he lost. But I love Charles Oliveira. Like, he's a beast. He kicks the shit out of people.
And
that's
that guy's been in the game forever, dude. What they say, like 11, 12 years to finally get to this point and being champion. So you can't be mad at that, man. You can't be upset.
28 fights before he got his first title shot, I think they said.
Yeah. Good for him,
28 fights. Good for him. Yeah, and he's a badass, dude. Guy kicks the shit out of everybody.
The real test, though, is
Poirier.
Is defending it.
Yeah.
He has to defend it. You know, you have to have a few defenses and under your belt be called the real true champ. You know, so I don't know if it's because the way he got his ass beat in the first round, is it an automatic rematch, or does he get Poirier after he beats Conor, or does he get the winner of that fight? Like, is it who is it? You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say, if Charles Oliveira like defends his belt multiple times, like, that division's so deadly. I think that's the strongest division in the UFC, the lightweight class. You got Michael Chandler, like I said, Charles Oliveira, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje.
Gaethje's gonna be the good
Tony
one, dude.
Ferguson. I mean, Ferguson got.
I think Ferguson's done, man.
I think he's done too. And then you got that dude below, Darius.
Yeah.
Who just slayed on him for 5 rounds.
I think.
Or 3 rounds.
It needs to be Cerrone and Ferguson, like in a farewell match. You know what I mean? Like a WWE style farewell match.
Yeah.
You know.
Except it's not Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. It's Ric Flair versus Ric Flair.
Yeah, for real. They don't have it no more, man. I kind of you said it during the fight that Ferguson was kind of funny, like he was scared, just didn't have that
confidence,
that killer instinct anymore in him, and it's showing now. Like I don't know if he was trying to be a safe fighter in the moment and like trying to make it, you know, not trying to be too dangerous, not trying to risk getting knocked out, but it completely backfired. Whatever the fuck he was trying to do.
Oh, disclaimer, by the way, we 30 minutes out from just watching the fights. We literally like just watched the fights, and we had like 30 minutes to collect what we thought about it. So this is just very fresh. So if for whatever reason everybody's like, "Oh, you say something stupid," it's because I'm 30 minutes fresh.
Yeah, we just finished watching it.
But
Jack Ray fucking broke his arm.
That was scary because on the upper angle, you see it in, and you don't see it break, but you see his body jolt off the break. When he breaks it, you see his body go. Like you almost like hear it without the audio.
Yeah.
Like you just see his body jolt, and then when he leaves the arm submission, his arm's just like a little noodle, just like kind of just like right there.
What's weird though is like the camera pans out, and he just gets up all nonchalant, and he's like, "Oh,
my arm's broken."
My fucking arm's broken.
Yeah.
You know, no fucking pain or nothing in his face. Do I look blurry to you? Like you look like really defined, and then I look a little blurry.
That's what I was saying. The camera difference, the camera quality difference.
Oh.
That's why I was trying to get that one to work with the single things. But anyways.
It could be that I'm just fucking ugly and you're like more defined.
So.
A little pudgy and shit.
All right, you gave what you want. Oh, and what I was gonna say, you cannot deny. I think Tony Ferguson has these. What would you say? The greatest heart in the game. That dude has heart. That dude has more heart than anybody. That ankle lock.
He tore something in his knee for sure.
Well, I mean,
like
Belil said
he couldn't even plant on it. You could tell.
Well, Belil said he heard it pop.
Yeah.
So, but
he said he asked Tony after the fight, and Tony was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Like, so, it could be like
Him
he's fucking 37,
tough.
dude. Like he's old like I am. I get off the couch and something fucking pops. You know, so it could be something like, "Hey, my fucking."
He looked
shit
like he was in
normally.
a lot of pain, and he did not tap, dude. Like that guy has so much heart. I just don't think he has it anymore. Like he wanted to win so badly that like anybody else would have tapped right there. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, like, but he was not afraid for his ankle.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know.
He's done.
But at the same time, like we're saying he's done, but this is his livelihood. This is what paid the bills for him this whole time. So of course he's gonna want to. It's hard for these guys to let go.
Yeah, for sure.
And I get it.
It was like that.
They love.
This is not a great comparison because I think Tony Ferguson had a more like no. All right, you tell me what you think. It's just kind of like BJ Penn.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I think BJ
just
Penn
kicks the shit out of everybody, and
BJ Penn had a longer reign. Was actually a champion, considered best pound for pound.
Yeah, Tony.
And I think it's sad for Tony because he never got there.
Well, because he
was a great fighter, and he never got that belt. It's kind of like Dan Marino, you know, Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the greatest to ever do it. Never got a Super Bowl.
Well, what the thing with Tony is it wasn't like his lack of skill; it was his injury. That one injury that hurt his shin. He was, I think, like a couple of weeks out from fighting Khabib, and then he hurt his shin, and then he was out for like a year or some shit, and then he came back and got the shit kicked out of him.
He's always been known for injury prone, and that's why his career took so long to get to this point. He waited too long because he was always hurt, so he was always in between fights because he was always injured.
Sucks, man.
It's just one of those guys that just can't get past that injury bug. Yeah.
And then I think that last injury is what put him in the cup because he's fighting. Yeah. He could fight. It's not the injury anymore.
I think that's where
he just came back different.
I think early on it was the injury bug, and then the injury bug allowed the age to set in. You know, and then being just an older guy in a young man's sport, you know, it's tough now.
Yeah, and also like the confidence.
And even DC and Rogan were talking about it because DC was saying I went through it too. You go to that point where you're just like your body's not keeping up with these younger guys anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
even though DC could still scrap.
Oh yeah.
Old man could still go.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel so bad for Tony, and then the rest of that card was insignificant, so boring. Except that Barboza fight. Yeah. Dude got knocked out by a ghost. He hit him, and then it was like a ghost, like Casper response. A delayed response, but it looked like he hit him, and then Casper came and hit him with the right hook.
Dude, the crazy part was on the replay in the slow motion, like he still was in it, and then as he starts to back up, his eyes start to like gaze over, like almost like he was blacking out, and he even looks to the side like fuck, I can't see, and then boom, he's on the floor.
He's like, what the fuck is happening? And then he went out. Yeah.
Imagine how scary that moment was. Like I'm in it, and like, oh, wait a minute. What the fuck?
Well, what you said it in the moment. It wasn't like him realizing that his body's giving out on him. It was probably him whiting because he was losing vision because he was blacking out. Like,
his brain was saying, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on right now?"
Yeah. But he couldn't see shit. He was probably like blacked out by the time, and then he got hit, and then Barboza hit the final shots to actually put him unconscious. Sucks for him though, because that was a good fight. I heard leading up. We joined mid-fight like round.
And then I also like that one where the dude took the fight on 25-day notice. Had to drop
my God, that was
50 pounds in 3 weeks. Missed weight by 1 pound. You would have thought he would have gassed out, and he pulled out the unanimous victory.
He pulled out the dub. But that dude was running like a bitch the entire fight. And like on short, like what I was telling you, on short, when a guy comes in on short notice, they said he was like whatever pounds overweight, like a crazy amount overweight.
He's gonna be drained.
He's gonna be. That's where you put on a masterclass and just whoop his ass and show that you're next up.
Yep.
But like Moreno and I can't pronounce that dude's name. Fergieto. Yeah. Those two guys are different breeds in that weight division.
Yep.
They will kick the shit out of him.
Yeah. Well, you gotta think that one guy that did really well and won 3 rounds off of just losing 50 some pounds in 2-3 weeks. Imagine what he could do
Yeah.
You know,
When
preparing
he's
for a
ready,
fight
yeah.
and then not having to cut that much weight last minute.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think you get to train because you're more worried about cutting the weight.
Yeah.
So he's just 3 weeks of trying to lose weight and just sitting in a sauna, and you know that's got to be hell in the body, man.
I can't remember the other dude. I know the guy we're talking about is like Bontarin or something, whoever won the fight. But
right.
the other dude was talking mad shit in the corner.
Yeah.
I was like, and it was very
in the
ironic.
first round.
Very ironic because in the first round, I think it was a little bit like back and forth, like they whatever. But after he went in the corner and started bitching, like, oh, he's not doing anything. Whatever.
He's putting me to sleep. He's not doing nothing.
And then he started running like a bitch the rest of the fight. That was so ironic.
He felt the power because that guy knew that he couldn't put on the speed and technique because he'd gas himself out. So he picked his shots. He was smart with it. And I think the other dude felt the power and was like, oh, fuck. Like, this guy could put me out. So, like, hats off to the dude that lost all the weight and conserved his energy for 3 rounds to pull out a win.
Yeah, he did preserve his energy in the first 2 rounds, and then in the third round just let it go. Yeah, he hurt him really bad. But other than the UFC, so I think for the picture now, how I would do it is I would go Oliveira versus winner of Poirier and Conor. No. I think you automatically put Chandler with Conor. Let Chandler earn his victory. The only no matter what, win or lose, Conor doesn't get a shot. In my eyes, he's got a couple fights to win. Coming off of a losing streak, he's got a couple fights. If I'm talking fair though, realistically, number wise, if he wins against Poirier, they'll probably talk about it early or some shit because of the money, because it's Conor McGregor. But if we're talking fair wise and what would make the most sense, win or lose, Conor has to fight Chandler first before he gets to Charles Oliveira. But if Dustin wins, he gets Oliveira right out the gate. Because I was telling my boy Chubby, I was looking at Poirier's record. He's been like, outside of Khabib, he's undefeated since 2016. He beat the shit out of everybody. Knocked out Gaethje, whooped on whoever to get to where he's at. The only person he's lost to was Khabib. Yeah. That's a champion, right? You got to let him get the title shot. A shot at the title. I mean, I don't think Oliveira's fought Khabib probably, like way back when, but Oliveira's a different guy now.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Poirier's a better fighter than Oliveira. That's going to be a scrap for sure, though. But I think Poirier gets it. He needs a shot. If he beats Conor, he gets his shot. Right? That's what I would do. He gets a shot. Don't send him to Chandler. He gets his title shot. He's been like whooping on everybody for way too long to like not get a shot at the real belt. He only lost his interim belt to Khabib, one of the greatest fighters to ever live. You know what I mean? You got to give him a title shot, in my eyes.
And then Chandler even said that he's going to have that belt within the next 12 months. So that means he plans on being active.
Yes.
So I'm sure he's going to get right back into camp. Probably spend a few weeks with his family, clear medical and all that stuff, get back in the gym. And I think we see him fight another 2 times this year probably.
Yeah, I think one of the losses on Michael Chandler's record, I was going to bring this up to you, but I saved it for whatever. We'll probably this podcast, but I think one of the losses on Chandler's record is against Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if he fought Conor, because Conor beat the shit out of Eddie Alvarez in his prime. So then maybe you do something like that where you promote it like, oh, Chandler lost to Eddie Alvarez, but it's been years since then, and then now it's Conor, like years since, like he's there, like let's see who's the best, you know, like outside, like I think it's Poirier versus Oliveira, and then Chandler and Conor fighting for that third spot.
I don't see Conor fighting for a title because I think Conor's trying to save his legacy, and I think he's going to do what Mayweather did in boxing. He's going to choose his opponents. I think he chose Poirier because he thought the way he decimated him the first time that he was going to do it again. So I think he's picking his fights, and I don't think Conor could beat Oliveira. I don't think Conor could beat Chandler. I don't even think he could beat Gaethje.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he picks. I think he goes after a Nate Diaz trilogy fight.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But Conor McGregor really wants to be double champ again. That's what he's been talking about.
I think he's just hyping.
Delusional.
He's trying to hype shit up.
Let's be honest. I think he's a little bit delusional.
He's just trying to hype.
The words. I want to win. What is it? The 170 belt. Mm-hmm. Just those words alone, you're delusional.
Yeah.
Like you're way over in your head. Like Kamaru will maul you.
Yeah.
You can't be. You got mauled by Khabib.
I think it's all a hype train for him now. He's just trying to hype things up because he even said he lost that in the last Poirier fight. He was being too much Mr. Nice Guy and he wants to get back into the shit talking
And he
Conor
also
style.
said,
So he's just trying to hype fights, but he's trying to make money and get that. He's not gonna be champ again.
and I think he said that he had his kids with him, so he's not gonna let his kids over there, so he doesn't have like that mental block almost.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how it is.
Dad McConnor.
Yeah, like
Dad McConnor. McGregor.
I didn't know he had. I didn't know his third kid was on the way.
Oh, is that right?
I thought he only had one. His son.
I knew he had two.
I didn't know he
about
had
a
the
third.
second one. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's pregnant with a third?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's probably gonna be a daughter, I think they said. But yeah, he said he's not gonna have it. He's trying to get back to like his old mindset, and I think Poirier's gonna beat him. But if Conor wins, there's no way. I think it'd be bullshit if he got a title shot after beating Poirier.
And honestly, I don't even know if it's just the head game for Conor. I think I don't think he's training as hard. All you ever see is him on a beach and fucking posing with Versace clothes and shit like that. You know,
Talking shit to Mayweather on Twitter.
I think he's more into the money, and I don't think he's training like he was before when he was trying to get the money.
He claims he is.
I don't think so, man. He's just too busy trying to be in a public eye. Everything I see, he's always on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, take your ass to a gym.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be on the beach.
Yeah. You never know with people, though. I think he's delusional. I probably agree with you. I don't think he could be trained. I mean, you don't see every fighter's life, obviously. Like, I know people talk shit about KSI when with him, which we'll get to Jake Paul, but like everybody's like, when you gonna fight Jake? When you gonna fight Jake? You beat his brother. Like, when you gonna fight Jake? And then KSI's, and everybody's like, you know, Jake would probably beat you anyway. You don't train, but like KSI's like, I'm training. Like, I'm just because I'm releasing music, doing else, I'm training. So like, I don't know. I think you're right though. I think if you want to be a champion, your whole life has to be the fight.
Dedicated,
especially with the young phenoms that they have, like Oliveira and Kamaru, who this is the only thing they want. Like, you can't be like, I don't know. I think as cold-blooded as it sounds, I think him getting a kid ruined his chances at coming back again, because now he's trying to balance being a father and being a fighter.
Yeah.
With Kamaru, like, yeah, he has a daughter. I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, well, Kamaru's just look at the guy. The guy's a different animal. Like, he's a different beast. He's, you know, a phenomenal wrestler.
Differently.
Yeah.
Everybody handles it different.
Yeah.
Some people get motivated by it, and some people it slows them down because they want to focus on being a parent. You know.
I think also too, to your point, like, everybody's different. I think Conor, if he wants to be a champ again, he has to dedicate his life to it again. Like, that's what made him the champ in the first place. That's what made him Conor McGregor.
That's what I was saying. He has to be hungry again, and he's not. He's not showing it because he's already a millionaire.
Yeah, when he went on his run, he had just quit being a plumber, and then he stepped into the octagon, started shutting people's lights out, and then like he was making all this money, and he was like, "I'm okay. This is it. I'm gonna be the greatest now." And then he had that crazy run, and then obviously what happened, and then now we're here. But what made him the best, what made him the notorious, was dedicating his entire life to it. And I think ever since he had a kid, I don't think he can do that anymore.
I think it's a similar scenario to like how I always say with college football and pro football. In college, you're not making money for it, so you're playing harder, you're playing more intense, the games are more intense because you're trying to get to the money in the NFL. And then when you get into the money, you always hear about these guys signing these fat-ass contracts, and then they go on a 2-year slid where they're not as great and they're not trying as hard. I'm already fucking paid. This shit's guaranteed now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to stay healthy because this is my livelihood, so I'm not tackling as hard. I'm not going as hard. You know, I think there's that too, where I don't think he's just as motivated.
Well, what that boils down to is what you're really competing for. In football, those guys are probably competing for the paycheck. You know, like, that's what separates the greatest from the weak. I think Conor was saying it from, like, you know, he's got videos of him being like, 50 G's, baby. You know, like, he loves the money. Like, I think he fought initially for the money. You know, and I think Kamaru and Habib and those guys, they fought for the honor, and they fought to be the best in the world. Undisputed the best.
Yeah.
You know, that's what all those guys fought for. They fought to be the best. Charles Oliveira, he's 28 fights. I think the longest since a fighter has fought without a title shot. And then here he is. He's the best now.
Yeah.
Like, after all those years of putting his life into it. You know what I mean? I think there's a huge, like, mindset disparity between the best now and, like, Conor back then.
Yep.
Because I think it started out with skill for Conor. Like, it started out with him just having freakish power and knocking everybody the hell out. and then it turned to him being dominant because of him shit talking everybody and getting in their head. That's literally that's the only reason why he beat Jose Aldo. If he came in treating Jose like he treated Dustin in the last fight, Jose would have beat the shit out of him in my eyes. But Jose was so in his head, and like Conor was just fucking with him all like fight week, that like just taking his belt, and like Jose was like, shit, he's kind of embarrassing me. He's making a fool out of me, and then he was like trying to like redo what Conor was doing, and he was just so in his head that he just got slept badly.
Conor knew he was gonna charge in. That's why he was practicing that that feint, because he knew
he was gonna get in his head. Yeah. So
but I also think that's what Nate exposed Conor, that you just can't fear the guy and let him get in your head, because you can't get in a guy's head like Nate or Nick Diaz. Like, those guys don't give a shit.
So that proves the point.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So that proves the argument I'm making. It came up to skill, and then it just went to like, you're in the big leagues now, and you're fighting against the best of the best, and then it became a mindset thing where he relied on getting everybody's head. I think that's how he knocked out Dustin. I think that's how he knocked out Josie, and how he kicked the shit out of everybody that he kicked the shit out of. And then, like you said, he came to Nate. When Nate's scared of nobody, dude's from Stockton, like, no, he doesn't care. He will fight anybody. I mean, Nick was like, I think I was telling my buddy, I was like, Nick was fighting like some of the GOATs of his time. He fought GSP, he fought Anderson Silva. He didn't give a shit about what your name was or what you were doing to everybody else. You know, he was going to go in there and scrap.
Nate slapped Khabib.
Yeah.
And the fucking fans. Tough shit and fucking slapped him in the face.
And it just shows the difference. Like, I like Conor, but like the difference between, you know, I don't know. It's just everybody doesn't believe in that little fallacy that he was putting, like that. You know, like nobody looks at him scared anymore. No. Nobody's scared of Conor anymore. And I think that's why he's done. I think he's going to go on a losing streak, and then I think he's going to retire. And I think he's going to talk delusional again, maybe get the hunger for it again, come back, and then get whooped some more. You know, maybe knock out some up-and-coming guys, some nobodies.
Like I said in the last podcast, if Conor loses, that's it. He's done.
Yeah, I think so.
He'll start doing those fucking celebrity boxing matches. He'll fight one of the Paul brothers or something. Watch.
Which
he'll do money fights, and he won't be in the UFC anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Did you hear Dana White blocked GSP from boxing Oscar De La Hoya?
Really?
Yeah, I just seen it like today or yesterday.
Why?
Just didn't want him to do it. I don't think Dana's a big fan of the whole crossover thing, but Dana was also against women in MMA, and then it turned out to be a big thing once he realized the money in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he needs to do is he needs to negotiate a cross promotional thing where he gets some of the pay-per-view buys to make it a money thing, and then he'll be bought into it. But I don't think the guys that are organizing it are willing to give him a piece of the pie that he wants. You know, Dana's a businessman.
Yeah.
It's all about the money for him and keeping the UFC afloat.
And you were saying something about the women's division. Dana White was saying that I think it was the flyweight division. What's the lightest weight class from the men? I think that's flyweight, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever Verjo and Moreno are in, he was saying for a while that division was dead. And then Henry Cejudo came and he was like, no, we're going to keep this division alive. And then he had that run that he had, Triple C, became the man. And then they kept it going. And then here comes David Jean and Moreno coming on, putting fight of the years on.
Yep.
So that's the only reason why that division's alive. And he was saying for a while, like, that division's dead, like, we're probably going to take it out. You know what I think, Stein? The women's division. Yeah. And I'll tell you why.
Just fucking up with Savages at the top.
Dude, the top, it's unbelievable the skill gap between the best and everybody else in the women's division. Like, there's Amanda Nunes, and then, like, the second...
There's nobody else.
Amanda Nunes up here, and then way down here is the number one contender.
Yeah.
Way down there with the rats and shit. That's where the number one contender's at compared to Nunes. Nobody's going to mess with Nunes.
Nope.
Nobody's going to touch Nunes. And then same thing with Shevchenko. Nobody's touching Shevchenko in that division. Like, same thing. Here's Shevchenko. Here's everybody else. And I realized that watching that fight between Cooligan or whatever her name was versus that Brazilian chick.
Yeah, they're like the top ranked chicks in Valentina's weight class.
And I was like, Valentina would kick the shit out of them.
It was the boringest fucking fight ever.
It was boring, but like I was like, Valentina would maul either of these girls. Like,
they wouldn't get out of the maybe the second round if they're smart, and they ran.
The only competitive division in the women's division is, I think, the strawweight where Rose is at.
Yeah.
Because you got Whaley and Joanna. Joanna, she's been on a losing streak, but like her past losses have her been just putting on fight of the years.
Yeah.
Like she could still scrap.
I feel like she's the gatekeeper now. Like if you want a title
Mhm.
shot, you got to get past her. She's the gatekeeper. I don't think she's the champ anymore, but she's definitely the gatekeeper. You got to get past her to get to the champ.
Not as long as Rose is the champ.
Yeah,
I think as long as Rose is the champ, Joanna won't.
I think Rose is about to go on a run like Amanda did, and she's gonna clean out the division. And then, like to your point you were saying earlier, it's just gonna be Rose, Valentina, and Amanda, and that's it. And there's nobody below them. And the only way you probably are gonna see good fights if you see champ versus champ. If Rose goes up or Valentina comes down, or Valentina goes up to Amanda, which I think should be the fight because they were the last two to actually put on a good fight and push Amanda to her limit.
Titan versus Titan right there.
So I think those are the only fights to make now, you know, with the chicks because they're all fucking savages.
Yeah, and then I think the only way the strawweight ever gets interesting is if Rose gets like shockingly knocked out, which like Joanna did. I think that's the only division that's going to keep the women's division alive. I have nothing against the women. I mean, I think Nunes is one of the greatest fighters across both genders.
Yeah.
Like, she just kicks the shit out of everybody. She'd probably maul some of the people in the men's division.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee she could beat the shit out of some of the guys.
Yeah, so, like, it's not me, like, saying, like, they're boring. I mean, I'll watch Amanda Nunes kick the shit out of some poor girl anyway. I'm just saying competition-wise, there isn't any.
Well, you have that boxer chick you're saying is supposed to come in.
Shepard, who wanted to fight Nunes, yeah.
Yeah, that might be. And then Amanda Nunes is on this kick where she wants to beat everybody at their strength. So maybe she'll stand and bang with her, and that'll be a good scrap.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But I think we spent about 30 minutes on the UFC topic. Let's go to Dodgers now and Lakers. You said it to me the other day. You're like, we talk shit about them on the podcast, and here we go.
And here they are. They're woken up.
Yep.
Like what Caruso said, the fucking beast is awakened.
Yep.
With Anthony Davis. LeBron's back, and he's fucking doing shit.
I just saw a thing right now that LeBron is back. Yeah, he was like, LeBron's back, and he was like,
just in fucking time,
it and just slamming it and shit. Dodgers are on a winning streak.
And fucking
Lakers are on a winning streak.
Pujols is with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, I'm good with it too because, like I was telling you earlier, Roberts is fucking bringing everybody off the bench to fucking bat, and these guys are batting like 125, 109. Fucking Peters is striking out every at bat. Like, if you're gonna go through your bench, put some real fucking hitters out there, and at the very least, Albert Pujols can still fucking hit.
Yeah,
he could still hit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we're down 2 runs and we have to hit somebody when we know we're gonna switch pitchers out anyways, fucking put Pujols in there.
Yeah, and then so the disclaimer on the last podcast, I watched it so many times. I was like, I said so many wrong things that were so completely inaccurate. That's why I was so happy that I made that disclaimer that I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. It was DJ Peters that we were talking about in the last episode. It wasn't Riley. It was DJ Peters. And then I think I said something else wrong or off. But anyway, yeah. So like what you're saying, I think Pujols will only make our team better, and I think he'll be like the Elmer's glue until Cody Bellinger comes back.
Yeah.
Because I knew we were missing one piece.
We needed some kind of pop, and I was talking about Yasiel Puig being that pop that we signed, but I'll take Pujols too.
I'll take Pujols. You know?
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. And then
and get that man a ring. Fuck it.
Yeah, and then Lakers are just. I saw like literally a 30-second highlight, and I was like, holy shit.
So what do we got?
LeBron
like 1 or 2 more games left before the playoffs start, or the play-in playoffs?
Yeah.
They have like 1 left, right? Like
I think so, yeah.
Something like that.
Dennis Schroeder's back, I think. I saw him there. And LeBron and Anthony. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing to get all those guys back and just kick the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited.
I think I was just telling you the other day, too, like, we just need to make it in. It doesn't matter about the fucking seed.
Yeah.
Because we're going to whip out. When we're playing at our par, at the best we can, nobody could beat us.
No.
So we just needed to get in and then wake up at the right fucking time, which I think we are, and we're good.
Yeah.
You know, it'll make for interesting basketball. That game we watched the other day with the Trailblazers and the Suns was a fucking great game, dude.
That was one, yeah. I told you it was too. I was like, let's watch this game.
And then I love seeing the Heat waking up, dude. Butler's doing great. That whole team, like, it's gonna be a great playoffs.
Miami has a great team. They got Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler. Those three alone are nasty.
Yeah. It's going to be a good playoff season, dude, for basketball. You know what else just started? Playoffs for hockey. Fucking the Ducks or Kings ain't in there, but, you know. I just seen a bracket for the playoffs. The Las Vegas Knights are in it.
Oh, so I was gonna literally say I have nothing to say about hockey. I haven't watched a single like quarter of hockey.
Neither have I.
But I did see this one thing. There's this one guy, Tyler something. So the Texas Rangers, I think it was the Texas Rangers. Hold on.
Isn't that baseball?
No, I don't think so. I think that's hockey.
No, Texas Rangers is baseball.
I think
there's a Rangers in hockey,
it's something,
but
New York Rangers.
Something like that.
Rangers.
Yeah.
New York Rangers. Okay. I think it was the New York Rangers.
What the fuck is a Ranger? That you have one in New York, you have one in Texas,
I think it was the Rangers. One of the teams came out with a post. I saw it the other day. It was like all over Twitter. I was like, "What is this about?"
Scrapping.
There it is. Okay, so yeah, this is it. Here you go. This is a crazy story. So the Rangers came out with a tweet that I saw, and they were saying like, pretty much in short, and I'm gonna give you like the rated R version of what they said. They were like, "This is pretty much bullshit. That there's this player on this whatever team, that he's scrapping with people. He's doing a lot of illegal shit. He's just being a dick, and they're like the league isn't doing anything about it. Like they're just letting him just kind of
the one where the fucking whistle blew and everybody started
fighting. So like they didn't do anything about it. This guy Tom Wilson was just fighting everybody, just doing super illegal shit. Like he was just being an asshole. So then
they gave him a pre-warning.
Yeah, and then the Rangers came out with the post saying like, "Yo, like we don't stand for this. Like the league needs to do something. Like this is ridiculous." And then, league didn't do anything. So that next game, they're like, "You know what? We're going to take matters into our own hands." And they just put it down and just start scrapping with people. Went straight for Tom Wilson, and everybody on the court was just scrapping.
Dope, dude.
I was like, "This is dope. I'll watch this."
Right.
So I was like, "Hell yeah." So, yeah.
I did remember seeing that about them and like seeing a picture. The refs or what do they call them? Are just sitting there watching.
Yeah, the boys were really surprised Wilson wasn't suspended. Something about him being handing out suspensions over the last 10 years. They also discussed the fallout from the incident and how the Rangers responded. And as Jim points out, whether Wilson was suspended or not, he was going to get an answer to the bell now or later. So either way, they were going to scrap with his ass. Shout out Zibon Jed. That's the only hockey player that I know, and it's because he was on one of my favorite podcasts, The Basement Yard. And they need to change, and that's one to... Yeah, so that's the only thing I know about hockey that's happened in hockey. Which when I was watching it, I was like, "Ooh, I'll start watching hockey for this shit. I'll just put it on the Rangers game when they start playing."
What's great about hockey is they literally have a position just for being aggressive, the enforcer.
Yeah.
And, like, it's his fucking job to go out there and check people into the fucking wall and just be a fucking dick. That's fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's my job to go over there and fuck you up, you know?
Yeah, so that's the only thing I heard about hockey. There's a lot of stuff that we were talking about this week that we should talk on the podcast. I'm just trying to remember.
So, to get into the boxing again, the Mayweather-Paul fight. So, I'm sure everybody's seen all over Twitter. We kind of had a brief conversation, but we wanted to save it for here. The whole thing where he took his hat. "I got your hat." So I have two sides to it for me. I feel that shit was staged because there was a few times where Mayweather had a clear line to put hands on that dude. And there was no in between, and he started to fucking dance or just talk shit. So I'm like, it's all publicity. But at the same time, Floyd is a very, he protects his record. And I don't see him letting someone give him his first loss. He's 50-0, and I don't see him letting a YouTuber give him his first loss. So I think he's really going to try and fucking fight him.
Oh, yeah,
and it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
But...
So my only pushback to saying that it was fake was Floyd didn't throw punches, but his team did, and they completely rearranged Jake's face. He had a bruise right here, and then he opens his mouth, and his teeth are like completely rearranged.
I just think he has fucked up teeth.
No, it's like all bloody. Like his team did something.
But yet there's no.
Also, Floyd's a bitch.
He looked like a fucking homeless guy that day, dude. Like he actually looked old. There was a few times he had fucking free shot, dude. Well, Logan was right there too and didn't do shit, and it was his fucking thing. I almost feel like too that this is gonna help them, because I think the Paul brothers are gonna fight. They're gonna fight each other for money too.
I hope so.
And I think that's gonna get thrown. Watch, mark my words. When they decide to fight each other, he's gonna say, "You were trying to fucking steal my light. That was my press conference, and you had to make it about you." And like, that's gonna be their little fucking fuel for their fight. Watch.
Yeah, it was funny because Logan came in literally after this. He's like, "What just happened? What did I miss?" So, one thing I will say as another pushback to what you're saying about him having open shots, he also let like Connor say some like out of pocket shit right to his face, directly into his face, where it was like, "Oh, that deserves a slap or a push or something."
But that was part of their tour, their promotional tour. This had nothing to do with them. Like, I don't know. I just think that it's kind of staged a little bit. But I also don't think Mayweather's gonna take it lightly because I don't see him letting anybody give him his first loss. He's gonna try hard as fuck. But Logan's a big motherfucker, dude. Look how much taller he is than him. So it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, that is his brother. And if Logan does lose, I think Jake thinks he's the man or some shit. Oh, so shout-outs to the person who suggested this, because I remember you did say that somebody did ask us to talk about this.
My buddy Julian.
Shout out Julian. But, yeah, I just want to see KSI fight Jake. I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to see any UFC fighters expose him. I want to see KSI do it. Because KSI was like, I don't know.
Well, Tyron Woodley just said he's ready. Now that he got released by the UFC, Tyron Woodley said he'll fucking fight him.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know. I want KSI to be the one to beat him, because that would just be a cool story that he beat both of the Paul brothers. He beat Logan.
That was a good fucking fight, dude. That was fun to watch because they started to get gassed out, and you're like, oh shit, and then like every shot hurt each one of them, so you didn't know who was gonna get the fucking the one that puts him out.
And then Logan had that illegal ass shot on KSI in one of the rounds.
Yeah.
Where he like held his head down and uppercutted him or something, like did something and then punched him on the back of the head when he was down. And everybody was like, oh god, and then he came back and won the fight. But I was telling everybody though, after that fight, if he fights Jake now, not after that fight because that was years ago. I'm talking now. KSI is a way better boxer than Jake if he sticks to the fundamentals and just doesn't let Jake get to his head, because he kind of let Logan get to his head and he was throwing wildly, and he was just throwing like a bum. Like he was throwing punches like he was like straight like on the street fighting or something.
I think too though at a certain point when you're fucking fatigued and you're fucking tired, because I've been at that point, and you're just like, I want this shit to end. So you're like, I need to throw a fucking haymaker right here, and I want this to fucking end. Like, I'm just fucking tired. Like, either you knock me or I need to knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson's very famous for saying everybody's got a plan till they got punched in the face. Yeah. Then it's fucking different. You have all the technique in the fucking world, and you get punched in the face, and you just start fucking throwing haymakers and like you're on the fucking street again.
I wouldn't doubt that's what happened to KSI, because he's done it every fight that he's had, beginning to end. He just like no torque or anything, just kind of just lets his arms flail. And if he needs to get that under control, because Jake Paul, you can say whatever you want. Fundamentally, he's not a bad boxer.
The dude's taking it serious, man. He's training really hard, and he looks good in there. Like, he's staying to his technique. The Askren fight was fast as fuck, and so was the Nate Robinson one. But he at no point threw random-ass haymakers or anything. He looked good. He was very fundamentally sound as a boxer, so you... But that's where people are saying he's not fighting real fighters, though. Like, Askren, I get it. He was an MMA fighter, but the guy was a ground fighter. He's a wrestler. He was never known for knocking people out. He was more known for getting knocked the fuck out,
And that right hook from Jake was so perfect, too. Like, it hit him hard. I also think it was a little bit rigged, because Ben did get up.
But he was like, he kept walking into the ref, and I think that's why the ref was like, dude, stand still, make sure you're... He was just so dazed. And Ben came into that fucking fight flabby as fuck.
He always does look like that, though.
No, this was even worse, dude. Like, I've never seen him this heavy before. Like, I don't think he took it serious. He went in there to collect a paycheck. Like, that shit was funny, the commentating when they're making fun of his fucking body, saying he had a Vince Vaughn body. Then he said he had the figure of a bag of milk. That shit had me rolling.
I don't know. But,
to stick on the boxing, like, I know a lot of people think of them as, like, it's a sideshow, it's not pro boxing, but they're still fucking interesting fights to watch, and they're fun to watch. The Legends one I was telling you about, where Anderson Silva was fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and then Julio Cesar Chavez was one of my favorite boxers of all time, is making his last fucking fight appearance in a 6-round fight against Hector Camacho Jr. And he's trying to like get his dad's fucking legacy back. His dad passed away. Rest in peace to Macho Camacho. But like that's gonna be pretty fucking dope, dude. You're gonna actually see two legends. You got to see Mike Tyson fight. Now you get to see Julio Cesar Chavez fight.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fucking dope, dude. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. And then speaking of, who's fighting Ryan Garcia? I was telling you there's a few fights I want you to see. I want you to see Ryan Garcia fight the Tank. And I want to watch Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury with you. Yeah. And then there's also, you know who else I love watching?
Tyson's gonna fight again.
You know who my favorite Mexican boxer is present day? Andrew Ruiz. That man can scrap. He lost a lot of weight, and he was low-key getting...
He changed his gym, too.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. He changed his gym, and he was low-key
training with Canelo.
Yeah, he fought in his last fight, like that was like a couple of weeks ago. He was kind of getting the shit kicked out of him in some rounds, but I just love watching him fight because he's so aggressive and he hits so hard and so fast for his size. The funniest fucking part is afterwards where Chris Arreola's all pissed off they lost and he's just talking shit, and you just see him in the background going, yeah.
Like, I beat you, but you're talking shit about me and the whole thing right now. Like, hey, cool, man.
Yeah,
can I have my fucking time to talk on the mic now?
Yeah, Andy Ruiz is like, he's kind of he's like that. He's like what like Amanda Nunes is. He's like the nice guy person. When you probably if you saw him on the street, he'd probably be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" You know,
it's
like
good
all
to see
nice.
him trying. You know, losing weight, changing his camp, trying to stay relevant. Like, good for him.
But yeah, he's like Amanda Nunes. Like he's like the nicest dude, and like I guarantee you'd be nice. You'd be the nicest fighter you'd meet when you meet him in real life. But he just goes in there and beats the shit out of people badly too. Like he's a great boxer. I love Andy Ruiz, and I love Ryan Garcia. I can't wait for him to fight the Tank. That's gonna be a huge scrap.
Ever since I seen this kid, like I feel like he's a little young mentally, like he's all fucking with the Paul brothers and shit. Like,
yeah,
I kind of liked Ryan Garcia at first, but now I'm just like,
so was
Jorge, don't get caught in that shit, man. Yeah. So was Masvidal, and that's why he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, like we were just talking with Connor, man. You get caught in that fucking wanting to be the cool guy, and you kind of forget to focus on your sport. And Ryan got dropped in his last fight, like pretty nasty. Like, yes, he came back and he fucking won, but that should have been a wake up call to like, hey man, don't take nobody fucking lightly, because in this sport anybody can get slipped. Now we've seen that tonight with Chandler. Anybody could get slipped.
Yeah, that was a nasty body shot. But he has a lot of influence from Canelo. Because him and Canelo are boys, and he trains with Canelo.
But Canelo don't fuck around. Canelo takes shit serious. He don't play.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So he's got really good influence.
He's not worried about being fucking next to a YouTuber and posting shit on Twitter like this dude is.
He's a great fucking boxer.
Hopefully Ryan Garcia doesn't have a bunch of yes men around him, and there's people telling him like, hey, all right, like you had your fucking fun. Now focus on the fights. Get back in the gym. Train hard. Stop worrying about having one of the Paul brothers here.
Unbeaten lightweight contender Ryan Garcia, who withdrew from his main event July fight with fellow contender Javier Fortuna 2 weeks ago. I guess he got hurt, but I thought he was fighting the Tank next. I guess not. I guess they're saying next year for sure though that he's fighting him. I mean, it's
gonna be a real test for him.
It was indicating that he's ready to start training again. Look at his speed. I just want you to watch his speed, dude.
Is this showing it for everybody else to see, or?
Let's show everybody else. Kind of looks.
He's like he's closing his eyes when it's happening. He's still fucking hitting it. That's awareness right there.
So quick, man. So quick and so strong.
We have one of those things very similar to that in our garage, and I almost fucking knocked myself out with it when he comes back at you all fucking fast.
Yeah, it's not easy to do. Not easy at all. It's hit me in the face a couple times.
You also hit your brother in the face with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess he got hurt, but I can't wait to see you watch Ryan Garcia fight, because I've been gassing him up for a while. Yeah. And then I want you to see Tyson Fury fight, because he'll go down as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And he's fighting Anthony Joshua, I think, next year.
Yeah.
But Tyson Fury, I mean, it showed in the Wilder fight. He's just like, he is one of the greatest boxers.
I think I was telling you, he's training with fucking Diaz. Look at.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyson Fury taunts Deontay Wilder and trainer. Like he talks the talk and he walks the walk.
It's crazy how that guy fucking retired, blew up in weight, got fat as fuck, got depressed, battled depression, and then fucking switched his shit around, got his head right, and got in the craziest fucking shape, and is the world champ now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking great story.
And he beats everybody up, like, convincingly, too.
It's a great story. Like, good for him, dude.
I think...
Shout out Tyson Fury.
Yeah. I think before
Gypsy King.
Before he went into, like, the temporary retirement, he fought Klitschko.
Yeah, that's when he's fucking stretched Klitschko's neck out in that one picture where it looks like it's fucking photoshopped.
Yeah.
Like, uppercutted him and his fucking neck's all fucked up.
Is he undefeated? No, he lost one fight. But he kills people, dude.
I wonder if that one fight's like one of those technical ones, like a DQ or something, like where he didn't legit lose.
Yeah. Either way, you only lost once in your entire.
Or maybe that one is the draw with Wilder, the first fight. That's not a loss; it's a draw, maybe.
They did draw on the first fight.
So maybe that's what the one stands for, is a draw. So it should be 30-0-1.
Oh, let's see.
Should be something like that. Cause I know they draw on the first one. That's why they had the rematch.
He left the sport for 3 years after testing positive for a banned substance and dealing with depression.
Oh fuck! What the hell? I didn't know he had the advanced substance thing.
Yeah. Who did he lose to?
Do the Wikipedia.
Who has Fury lost to? When did Fury lose his belts? Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko.
That usually shows like all the record and all that shit. Yeah, see right here, 0 losses but 1 draw.
Okay, yeah. So look how big he is in this picture.
I like the one where he first started and he's like, you know, like trying to pose for it. And he's just got this big fuck. It looks fake.
Yeah.
Like those fat suits, like the fake plastic stomach.
He has one of the weirdest looking bodies in the sport. Like huge torso and very like.
That's what I was talking about right there. That shit's fucking funny. Yeah.
Yeah. He was named after Mike Tyson too, I think.
Mm-hmm. This is Dad's favorite boxer. Look at that shit.
Longest legs, dude. The longest legs and like a small torso and long arms.
I love that picture, dude. Like letting him know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm fucking afraid of you.
Yeah. Tyson Fury is one of my favorites, dude. He's the man.
Gypsy King.
And I can't wait for him to beat the shit out of Anthony Joshua because I hate Anthony Joshua. Talk about, like, you were saying, like, Chris Paul's kind of like the Phillip Rivers of basketball. Anthony Joshua is, like, not like Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers just talked a lot of shit. He just is a massive pussy is what he is.
I want to see Wilder fight Joshua.
Anthony's been dunking him, dude.
Yeah,
for years he's been dunking him. And then I guarantee you the only reason why he'd want to fight Wilder now is because Tyson Fury beat him.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. But if Anthony Joshua...
I don't see him getting past Tyson Fury.
No.
But it's weird, though, how they signed that a 3-fight deal. So what, no matter what, is it going to be best of 3?
I guess.
It's kind of weird for boxing. So
yeah.
It usually doesn't go like that where you fight a 3 back-to-back.
Dana always makes fun of boxing. A lot of what they do doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would you preemptively, sign for 3 fights? What if Anthony Joshua gets...
slept both times in the first round, the first 2 fights?
Yeah, or he just gets, like...
let's do the 3rd time just for the fuck of it.
Or gets, like, a 12-0, like, just mauling, where he just gets the shit kicked out of him, face looking like sloth or some shit, like, after the fight, and, like, Tyson Fury's, like, all fine in the corner. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense why you would... Because I did see that. They did sign for multiple fights, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how that shit works. I'm sure there's more fine print, and people are like, you guys are fucking idiots because this is why, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I just barely started getting into boxing. I got into boxing because of Wilder, and then I discovered who Fury was, obviously, when Wilder got his shit kicked in by him. And then I started getting into Andy Ruiz when he fought Anthony Joshua. And then Ryan Garcia because he was like, he was on the Logan Paul podcast. Logan Paul's the good one, though. Because everybody always associates both Jake and Logan.
Yeah.
And I hate that because just because he's a Paul, Logan Paul's actually like not that bad of a dude in real life. He's young and he makes a lot of mistakes, but Jake is just a piece of shit. Logan, he's made mistakes and he's learned from them, but he's a good dude now. Like he's a good dude.
Jake, I think we don't really know if he's a piece of because he's.
It could be like a vendetta.
He's a great business guy, dude. Like he's fucking. He's doing. Somebody had said something about like sometimes like the old saying, even bad publicity is good publicity because you're out in the limelight. And I think he rather be the villain and make more money as a villain. Connor did that, and he's making fucking a shitload of money as the fucking villain. He's fucking smart, dude. He's a good smart businessman.
But like,
I still want to see him get knocked the fuck out. Trust me, I want to see him get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, now he has more of a reason to be an asshole for the boxing thing. But way before that, like. He was on the news for
all that
blowing
controversy
shit
and
up,
stuff.
and I was like, dude, this guy's a psycho.
But I'm saying, to my point, that got him famous. Yeah. Being that negative person got him famous, and it's still working for him. So why, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah,
it's keeping him in the limelight, and it's making him more and more and more money. And now we're paying just to hope that he gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
and he's making money off of it.
Yeah,
that's smart, dude.
Yeah, and
that's fucking smart.
But yeah, so what I was saying though, like Logan is not the same guy. Like if I watch Logan's podcast, like he's a good dude. You could tell he's just like, he regrets his past. Like he did a lot of dumb shit when he was younger.
Yeah. Back
when Jake was on Disney Channel and then getting on the news for blowing up shit in his backyard and lighting shit on fire, being an actual asshole. But like Logan, like. He always said that too. He was like, Dana White didn't want me to come to whatever, but I was like, dude, that's like, I have nothing to do. Like he's his own human being. Like I don't have control over what he does. Like why is everybody associating me with Jake? You know what I mean? And like Logan is not the one.
Fucking brother. I don't know.
It's like, dude, it's like you're two. That's two separate people. Logan's he's the good one. He was a dick growing up, but like he's learned from it. He's a good dude now. Obviously he's talking shit to Floyd. I mean that's what you got to do to promote fights. But other than that, he's a good dude. So I discovered Ryan through Logan because I was like, I was watching his podcast. I was like, he's actually not an asshole. Like he's actually a normal human being.
Fuck both of them.
Like he's a normal human being, and like Jake is just actually psycho because Jake was on his podcast and you could see the huge difference between the both of them as human beings. But I saw Ryan on Logan's podcast. Him and Ryan are good friends. And then I think who else do I know that boxes right now? Javante Davis, obviously. And then I think most of boxing now. You were saying a lot of it is technical. But I think there's no in between with the scrapping and like the in between it, like technical and just like knocking people out cold. Is like what you were watching back in the day, where people are just going to the finish, Max Holloway, Llama shit, where they're pointing in the middle and just scrapping to the end of the round. Like now, there's no in between. It's either a really technical fight where Tyson is just outclassing Wilder, or Canelo's outclassing whoever nobody's fighting, or it's like I think the only person who does scrap no matter what is Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one that I've seen where I was like, damn, like he's really just swinging for the fences right now. And then there's the other side of it where it's just people that just knock each other the fuck out, like Deontay Wilder and Ryan Garcia.
He's not a big guy, so he don't have the reach, so he has to scrap. These guys have long-ass arms, and they could jab the fuck out of you for 12 rounds and just win by points. So he has to get in close and try and knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's not going to win a jab war with these guys and these long-ass fucking arms.
Yeah. And then, like I said, and then there's the other side of that where it's just fighters that just knock each other the fuck out, where it's like Wilder and, Ryan Garcia and Javante Davis, where they just go in there and put people away in one round. You know what I'm saying? Or they, like, put them away with a ravishing knockout in, like, the 5th round. Like what Ryan Garcia, I think it was the first time he's, like, got into those rounds, or, like, one of the first times he's got into those rounds, because he usually just puts people out quick as shit, like 30-second knockouts. I think he's gone later rounds a few times, but it's not common for Ryan. Like, he usually just puts people away quick.
We'll look it up. Let's see.
What would I look up?
Just look up his record, because the KOs will obviously be
I think he's
the short ones. And
I know he's undefeated.
because KOs are obviously don't go the distance unless you got KO in the last round, and the rest went the distance. So
Yeah.
so how many were by KO though?
18.
So 18. So what?
Knockout ratio of 86%.
Three fights he went the distance.
And it was probably at the beginning of his career when he didn't get that power, and then he just started.
He's still young. Got a long way to go.
22.
Yeah.
22. He's probably got like 12 years left in him.
Future's bright for him.
Oh yeah. I just love watching like him knock people out. As cold blooded as it sounds, like he's knocking.
That's anything with combat sports, you know.
Yeah. But I love watching him fight because I'm like, oh shit! Like how is he gonna knock him out this time? How's the guy gonna look getting knocked out this time? Like I remember when he knocked out that one dude. I think it was Francesca.
That's a great name.
Something
for a fucking boxer.
It was something like that where he hit him with like a counter left, I think. And he kind of just went like Francesca kind of went in and then just kind of went back. And I was like, I remember I had to watch it 4 times to see the punch that knocked him out. But he hit him so fast and so hard that he kind of just went in and just kind of went slapped, and he was like sprawled out. I've never seen someone sprawled out unconscious like that with their eyes rolled to the back of their head. It was crazy. I want to watch Ryan Garcia box. How much time? An hour.
Hey, so also we wanted to bring up that Canelo fight that we watched after the podcast last week.
Yeah, literally right after.
That was a great fight. Like the dude was doing pretty good until he literally got he had surgery on his face, dude. Like he broke his orbital bone like in three places. They said he might lose his eye. Like he just got fucking cracked pretty good.
Bill Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Billy Saunders.
Billy Ray or Billy Joe.
Billy Joe. But he was saying Canelo was saying that the reason why he put the pressure on him in the late rounds is because he heard his bone crack in his face. Yeah. So when he heard his bone crack, he was like, "Okay, I'm." You
don't only fucking hear that shit. You probably fucking.
He felt it on his hand too. Yeah. But here's Ryan Garcia. This guy's the man. I remember watching this fight back because that guy was pissing me off. He was just taunting Ryan, and then Ryan was like, all right, whatever, I'm just gonna fuck you up. Like, you could keep talking shit all you want, but I'm just gonna whoop your ass. And then he just beat the shit out of him for like 5 rounds and then knocked him out. It's
like De La Hoya against Mayorga.
I think De La Hoya is like he's friends with De La Hoya too. I think De La Hoya.
Well, De La Hoya's got Golden Boy Promotion, so he's like a promoter now. Yeah. So he's friends with all these boxers. But I remember Mayorga talked so much shit, dude. Talked about his wife, his fucking family. Yeah. About his race and not being a real Mexican and all that shit, and De La Hoya beat the fuck out of him, dude. He straight told him, like, that's enough. Like, you've disrespected me enough, I'm gonna fucking destroy you. Yeah.
It wasn't that cold-blooded. It was more like him just, like, pulling his tongue out in his face and maybe pushing him, but...
He called him fucking... He talked a lot of shit, like, bad. The same thing with Sugar Shane Mosley against Mayorga. Mayorga is a big shit talker. And during the press conference, fucking Mayorga, I think, slapped Sugar Shane Mosley's wife on the ass, dude.
Damn.
Like, and then it fucking broke out, and it was like, and then Mosley whooped his ass too, but like straight disrespectful type shit.
Oh my god!
You don't put your hands on someone's wife, dude. Not expect to get a fucking ass beating, dude.
Yeah, I did see that.
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy was just. This highlight right here is showing the first highlight. This guy, he was talking so much shit, just taunting him and.
You know, it reminds me of Crazy Horse Bennett. MMA, remember Crazy Horse Bennett?
No. Look at him.
Yeah, that's Crazy Horse Bennett, dude. Like, real talk. That's crazy. He does look like fucking Crazy Horse.
Yeah, like taunting him, and Ryan was like, alright, bitch.
Crazy Horse right there.
And then Ryan Garcia was like, alright, bitch, I'm gonna sleep you.
That's so funny.
And then I think he sleeps him right here. He just hits him with like... Look at the intensity in his
really
face.
Landed yet to the end.
Look at the intensity in his face. I like how that's like a signature thing that like they'll shake it, they'll like give you the no when they're hurt. Most of the time. Like if you hit them in the face like really hard, they'll shake it off like, nah, that ain't hurt me. Like that's how you know.
Back. Is that a? I see the tattoo. Was the rest a birthmark?
Oh, I don't know.
Spots.
And then what else they got on here? Where's his Lopez? Getting pressure on him.
You blocked the hole.
He's so
The
fast.
The refs are so animated, dude. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, he's just so fast. He just puts so much pressure on you, and that's why that one dude knocked him out. Because
Every time I say something and you don't want to, you just go yeah, and you go back into your point.
Well, yeah, because you're hating on my guy, dude. Look at him.
No, but I was talking about the ref. How am I hating on your guy?
Yeah.
You don't even listen to what I say. You just go yeah, and you keep on going with your point. You've done it like 60 times already in this podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get off track. That's why. You know who my favorite? Speaking of your point, though, you know who my favorite referee is across all sports? The black dude, the black boxer.
The big eyes. Yeah.
He's getting like all locked in. There's like highlights of him. That's why that one dude knocked him down though.
He's like the buffer of referees because you have to be animated to get the fans into you.
Yeah. And that's
you
why
get known like that.
Yeah, that's why everybody like. Yeah.
I think it's crazy how some of the rings, that's part of the negotiations in the fight is the size of the ring.
Yeah.
Some boxers like bigger ones, and some like smaller because they want to
I think Billy Joe Saunders. I think Canelo was pissed at him because Billy Joe.
Yeah,
Saunders
that was
for a smaller
the
ring.
fight. Almost got called off because of that.
Yeah. Canelo was like, "Why are you trying to fight in a smaller ring for?" Or like a bigger or whatever. But like the reason why Ryan got dropped is because I want you to pay attention. When he starts teeing off, notice how his hands are down and he's just going pure speed and pure power. And I feel like that's that's how you knock out Ryan Garcia, is if that's how he got knocked down, was because when he's like swinging, his hands are just so low, and he just kind of just unloads on you.
Yeesh.
It's worked out for him, but when you get a boxer like, if you ever fought someone like Canelo would have a great answer for that. Because
That's crazy
he would have a lot of head movement and then just counter right you.
When you're so fucking hurt like that, you can't even control your limbs. Like he's trying to get his hands under him, and they just like his head is like just get up, and you just can't. That's That's crazy.
Yeah.
That ref's been in the game a long time too.
Yeah, I thought he looked familiar. Francesca, here we go. Fonseca.
I don't know. It's weird because even like for the longest time, for years, they called him Jose Aldo, and he finally was like, "No, my name's Jose," and we're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us.
Even though like everybody calls their same way spelled, it's always Jose when you know someone like that in real life.
So it's like hard to tell how he pronounces it. I would say Fonseca, but
probably Fonseca. Yeah.
Who knows?
I had a I remember when he first knocked when I saw this when like the fight like happened. I remember having to watch it back a few times. I don't know if they'll show the yeah. So I was like, what did he hit him with?
Ugh.
Look at him. He wakes up when he starts blinking, and then he gets up. He's like, "What happened?"
Fuck.
That was one of the scariest. I had to watch it back.
And that's pure power, because that's not a head snapper. That was more in the back of the chin. That's more power instead of like the neck snap that really knocks people out.
On the back, I think he was on the back foot too.
Shit.
Would you say like he was on his back foot with that knockout?
Ugh.
Yeah,
Fuck.
He was. It was a counter left, huh?
It was a counter, yeah. And he didn't even throw much force into it. Looks like
and he's not southpaw, and that was a left hook.
And the fucking head bouncing on the floor 3 times didn't help. Oh god.
Like a basketball, dude. I remember I was like, there's knockout. We talked about this last podcast. I think that there's knockouts that scare me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my god. This one was one of them. For boxing, across all sports, I was like, holy shit, look at his eyes.
Was it Pacquiao that got knocked out and he was like out
on his face
a long fucking time before he actually woke up? And people were like, oh man, this is fucking scary.
I don't remember, but I know Pacquiao got slept so bad that he was on his face just like
either he did it to someone or he got it where he was out and they're like, man, he's still not up. and then they started getting like really worried, calling like the fucking paramedics to come up. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
damn.
Yeah, I
That's
just
where you get
barely
worried for
started
head
into
trauma.
boxing. I think in general, when you're a boxer, you just worry for their health.
Yeah.
Your
Because
full
it's
job's getting
different.
punched in the mouth.
In MMA, you could win a fight and never take a punch.
Yeah.
In boxing, that's
amazing.
all it is fucking body and headshots over and over and over again.
Yeah.
In MMA, someone could take you down and fucking work a submission, and you'll never take a fucking punch at all and lose.
Yeah, the damage is spread out across your entire body. This
Yeah.
one, it's only your upper
They're
body.
going for your fucking
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. You just worry for their, maybe not now, but their long-term health.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Like,
I don't understand why you don't see more of like, you know, you hear a lot about in NFL, like people with head trauma down the line. Like, how do boxers not have it really? I'm sure they do, but it seems like NFL is more.
yeah, I was watching because I was on Sports Center and they were playing old Mike Tyson fights. It was just they only showed Mike Tyson fights.
He was knocking people out dirty too.
And it's not going where you think it's going though. So yeah, he was. Yeah, we'll go to Mike Tyson because I love Mike Tyson. But how can you not?
Yeah.
But I remember it was shown before one of his fights, Muhammad Ali coming in, being like, "Oh, the boxing legend Muhammad Ali," and he was like, you know,
Already up there.
He wasn't really up there. He was up there. He looked like he was like late 50s, maybe late 60s. Like when he passed, like he looked really. He had gray hairs. Like, you know, he looked like he
Was
looked
he
really
still
old.
like still talking on this one? Because he
I
got to a
don't know.
point where he wasn't even talking. He was just kind of like, you know.
Yeah,
like-
he was just like, yeah. So that's what I was saying though. So I was like watching Muhammad Ali. I was like, damn, just all those years of scrapping. Like you could tell, like.
No, he actually had something though.
Did he really?
Yeah. A lot of
Was
people
it
said.
caused by boxing?
A lot of people say it was, but there's no proof in it.
So it's just
But-
kind of conspiracy theories at this point.
Yeah, from what I read, but I want to say like Parkinson's or something like
Yeah.
that he had.
Yeah.
So
Could've
I'm
been,
sure the
maybe
boxing
could've
didn't
not.
fucking help,
Yeah.
especially back then. Boxing was just like we were talking about, just fucking straight brawling.
Yeah.
You know?
the
And
ones
then
are
he's the
a
one
lot
that
smaller.
made up not made up, but fucking perfected the rope-a-dope, where you let someone beat the shit out of you for a couple of rounds until they're tired, and then you fuck them up.
Yeah.
So he purposely took a beating just to get them tired.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that don't fucking help the brain very much.
Yeah. But yeah. We got about 20 minutes, I think,
Yeah.
before we start chalking it up. Is there any other sports you wanted to talk about? We talked about UFC. Oh, so with
Oh.
WWE.
Before we go into WWE, dude, I just want your opinion on it. It'll probably be a quick one before we get into WWE. The whole Diego Sanchez fucking thing, dude. It's sad, man. To get back into like the brain trauma, because Diego Sanchez put on wars, like fucking wars.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dude's a legend of the sport, and
Yeah.
I hate to see this shit happen to him. Like he's talking about, he put out an interview the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm worried that the big organization UFC is gonna put a hit out on me and kill me in within the next 2 years, and they're gonna blame it on suicide." What the fuck? What are you
What are you
talking about, dude?
Diego?
Like
yeah.
UFC's gonna kill you and then blame it on you committing suicide? Like you're talking about some movie shit. Like
Yeah, and
what
also
the
like
fuck?
also like what?
Dude, there's
Why
so
would they
many
do that?
people going out there like supporting him. Like, dude, I hope he gets help. You got to get away from this fucking guy, that little dude that's
Oh.
fucking training him. And they say that guy's like 5 foot, like he's fucking tiny as fuck. That weird dude.
He's also psycho.
Yeah, I like also how they were like trying to turn it into like, hey, are they gay lovers? And he had to come out and say, we are not homosexuals. Like, it was, dude,
Yeah.
that shit's scary. I feel bad for Diego Sanchez, man, because that guy's a fucking beast and a legend.
Yeah, I used to, grow up watching him just scrap with like.
He had wars with BJ Penn, Clay Guida,
I was gonna say.
bless you,
you.
Gilbert Melendez. That
Yeah.
was a
Oh
fucking
my, one
fight,
of the greatest
dude.
fights ever.
Like,
Whenever people ask me what are my favorite fights of all time, that one's on there.
dude, and when he was like fucking, and they were
Yeah.
like just going like, oh man,
God, so good.
and now you just see like, fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, so I didn't know the extent of it until you explained it to me, but I had like heard a little bit of it. The only thing I had seen though was a video of that trainer and Diego Sanchez at like a UFC meeting, and like he was like they were trying to they were doing something like illegal and like not like obviously good. I mean, he's like you said that he's running at people with knives and shit, but like there like Paul Felder was there and everybody was like. Apparently they were arguing. I didn't watch the whole video, so I was like, I don't really care about it.
In the
The
their
little, like small room
chamber or something like that. Yeah, he was talking about. You'd have to really look it up and read up on it. But they're bringing up medical records, like past medical records from his other fights, and I don't know if he was trying to defend saying he's got brain damage, or if the UFC was trying to say it and he was trying to say no, he doesn't. I don't know what there was, but it was something about past medical records, and then it ended up saying they dropped him out of the fight, and then they released him. But the UFC actually did something cool where they paid him all his money like he did fight. They still paid him for it, which they didn't have to.
Yeah, but what you're oh god,
What is
I
it?
told this dickhead I was gonna play with him later.
Who is it?
Isaiah.
Oh,
But
Marvel.
yeah, but I was saying yeah, all I saw was like Felder like saying like, yeah, we care about Diego, like he's one of the legends of the sport, but so and something, and I didn't hear what he was
I didn't
saying.
know Felder was in there.
Yeah, Felder was in there, and he was like in the corner with like Megan O'Leary or whatever her name was.
You know what's crazy though is and I wonder if we could find out his side of the story was Jason Bonner. Was it Jason Bonner or
Josh Bonner, something Bonner.
the Bonner, the one that
Bonner,
fucking fought
had that
Griffin.
war with Griffin, yeah.
He was the one
Stephen
recording
Bonner.
it. Stephen
Yeah.
Bonner.
Yeah.
He's the one fucking recording it.
Is he really?
Yeah, so it's like I don't know whose side he's on.
Yeah, I gotta put my phone on.
I don't know who if he's part of the whole fucking Diego's crazy or if he's on Diego's side. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Then it makes you wonder if he's fucked up in his head.
Or maybe it could have been just like in one of those things where he's like, this shit is crazy, I'm gonna start recording it.
No, the little guy was recording and passed it to Bonner, and Bonner kept on recording for him while he was talking. But like, let's say it is brain trauma. It ain't helping with that fucking the way they're training. He had him upside down, and he was like trying to meditate while getting punched in the fucking face and kicked in the face.
I knew, like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I knew there was something like not all there with Diego.
Yeah,
I know he wasn't all there.
Yeah, for real.
You
Same
know,
thing with me. I always knew he was a little fucking
but you
off.
didn't want to be an asshole. And
When he used to come out going, yes, yes, over and over again to the fights. Like
I always thought that was characteristic of him, though, for the longest time. But then I now started to realize this guy's a fucking nut job.
he was trying to like psych himself out, and then he was like, he came in as the Diego the Nightmare Sanchez, and then he like fixed his life, and then he wanted to be the Dream. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? You're a fighter,
Yeah.
dude. Like, the Dream. Why? Because you're going to get put to sleep and start dreaming?
Yeah, and then
You know?
like he would come in like but like he went from one point being like the Nightmare, like you said, and then he would be and then like he recently started becoming like Zen.
Yeah.
And like trying to talk
Yeah.
all smart, and you're like, dude, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
You're
you need
not
help.
all there.
Yeah.
God, I put my phone on. Do not disturb. I gotta put it on the floor. But I knew there was something not there, and then when I saw that video, I was like, Jesus Christ! I didn't know what the context was until recently. I thought it was a crazy trainer, but I was like, holy shit, he's nuts.
All seriousness, all the jokes, I hope the dude gets the help, man.
Hell yeah!
I really do, because I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody. But he's also a legend of the sport. Like,
all time great.
Yeah, man. I hope he fucking figures it out.
He put on classics, and he just put on classics. He just fought some of the greatest fights ever. You'd think of Diego Sanchez.
Yep.
And like
Scrapper, dude.
He also used to be like
Fucking
super
scrapper.
badass. Like he used to be crazy, but he used to be like, hell yeah, let's go. Like he used to root for him all the time because he would just
It's
be like
crazy how him and Kenny Florian started. Like, what was when they're on Ultimate Fighter? It was like 205 or something like that. And they all lost weight to make. They started fighting at 155, but they went in there fucking fat as fuck. Cause they're like, we just want to get in the UFC. We'll fight anybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking nuts, dude.
I forgot Kenny Florian was a fighter. Like I forgot about that entire era of my life. Like I thought about it. I was like, dude, there was some like great fighters I forgot about.
Yeah.
Kenny Florian. There was
Diego Sanchez.
There's Carlos Condit, Dan
Yeah.
Hardy. I will never forget about Dan Hardy because he's like my second favorite fighter of all time,
Yeah.
if not my favorite fighter of all time. And
Outlaw.
The Outlaw. He was so cool, man. And then I remember I always wanted to be like him when I grew up.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted like the sharp teeth mouthpiece when I was
Yeah.
fighting. Like it was because of Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
Like he was the man. And then there was
You got
Stephen
pictures
Bonner.
with Condit. Condit was a cool fucking dude. in
Condit
real
was
life.
cool. Yeah, Condit was cool. And then I was like thinking about I met DC. I met one of the goats, dude. Like what the hell?
I think when you met DC, he was fucking everybody up in Strikeforce.
Oh,
He
yeah,
wasn't in the
yeah,
UFC yet. You know.
Yeah.
And he had just gotten to the UFC, and he was like the Strikeforce champ. You know, at the time. Same thing with Tyron Woodley. Like he was up and coming, knocking everybody out, but he wasn't the champ yet when we met him.
Yeah, he was cool as hell though.
Yeah.
He
was
was
giving
cool.
you shit about where you wanted him to sign the belt.
Which
Yeah.
Dick move on my part. He should have signed the front. It's Tyron Woodley, but it was a different time. Right?
Yeah, you did. I don't even think when we went up there, you're like, "Who is he?" I'm like, "Oh, trust me, he's fucking good," you know. And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
You know, he didn't even have a big line. I think that's why we got over there. We're like, his line's not that big to fucking meet him. Just have him. I know he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat Barry, shout out Pat Barry. He's fucking cool as fuck.
He was cool. But I thought of like some cool fighters that I thought about back then, and I was and then like Ace. He looks like Ace Ventura.
Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin, yeah. He was the man.
It looked just like fucking Ace Ventura.
Yeah. I was like, why do they call him Ace, Dad? He's like, he looks like Ace Ventura. And my life changed. I was like, holy shit, he looks like Ace Ventura. He looks like Jim Carrey. What happened to him?
Ace or Jim Carrey?
Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin. He's I don't know if he's part owner, but he's was ONE FC. Where Brandon Vera is and all those guys. So
not fighting, right?
I don't think he's fighting. He's part of I don't know if he's like the Dana White of it or if he's like the matchmaker or something like that. I know he's with ONE FC though. I think.
Alright, so I fuck WWE. We'll give it another week because they're still developing storylines. It's nothing new. But I want to talk about because there was one thing you want to talk about on the podcast and I was like, that's a good idea. Let's talk about horror movies.
Oh.
Who do you think's gonna be? I mean, you know my answer. I'm very biased towards him, but who do you think's gonna be the next great horror filmmaker? Jordan Peele,
yeah.
But how about you?
I don't know because I've never been. I'm a Clive Barker guy, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, the OGs of the Stephen Kings. So it's kind of hard for me to, I hope that he's the one. I think his Candyman movie is gonna be fucking. I was never a big fan of the original one. I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna put a great twist to it from watching his previous movies. I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
So I hope he's the one because who else is there? Who is he really competing against? Everybody tries to put their name in there and tries to make movies, but really don't. I've never been a fan of Rob Zombie's.
Yeah, there's one dude who made the Conjuring movies. I know he's a famous horror director, but he started out great with the Conjuring, where you're like, oh shit, that. Those movies scared the death out of me. And then he started releasing the Nun and shit, and you're like, this is horrible.
The Nun was fucking horrible. What it is, it's the same fucking storyline, just different situations, and you're like, I fucking seen this.
Yeah. And then I like how they put it in your head this happened. Yeah. This was real. And then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna.
So was Area 51, but nobody wants to fucking admit it.
Yeah.
Producer was that on the bottom?
Director.
James Wan.
James Wan. Wasn't this the guy who made Aquaman or some shit? Yeah, he made Aquaman.
Oh shit.
Insidious, Conjuring 2,
Saw. The Saw, they're good. Dead Silence. The Mortal Kombat too.
He made Yeah, James Wan's the man.
Hey, so fuck, my vote's for this guy.
Yeah.
Just overall, I guess. Annabelle.
Oh, look at this one. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it because
La Llorona.
Yeah. So he has a lot of hits and misses.
What the fuck's Megan with the Chucky thing? That's weird.
I don't know. Probably behind the scenes. He has a lot of hits and misses.
Yeah.
You could tell. He has some Saws in there. Mortal Kombat, that was
good. Who did the? And we were talking about this. The Busan one, the Train to
Busan, which everybody could talk all the shit.
I watched it, dude. I liked it.
Yeah, you were telling me it was good.
And you know me, I'm very fucking biased with horror movies because I'm an old school horror movie type of guy, and I actually liked it. The biggest thing for me is I'm not the fucking fastest reader in the world, so the subtitles was a bitch to kind of keep up with and watch. Yeah. But I liked it, man. It was pretty good.
They're making a sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're coming out the sequel. Yeah, so this guy's up and coming, I would say.
I liked it. I thought it was a really good movie. To the point, so he's really good at character development because it's a bunch of random people, but you start to root for certain ones, and you start to be like, I fucking hate that motherfucker, but he gets you invested in the characters.
Dope. But, so
it's not only about the storyline, you get into the characters, which is good.
Yeah. Which is I think something that a lot of movies suck ass at now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think horror movies were good at that back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Now it's scare.
It's about jump scare. Yep.
You know, but it's back then it was all right, here are the characters. Here's what each of them are. These you're gonna root for some, you're gonna like some, and then we're gonna kill some of the ones you like, and we're gonna kill some of the ones you dislike, and then it's just gonna be. It was back in the day. It was all about how do we kill people, make it look fucking sick?
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, how do we get someone to expect not a jump scare?
Yeah.
How do we get
get them out of their to get them comfortable that they think everything's fine, and then boom, it happens.
Yeah. People started catching on to that bullshit of like the anticipation of the jump scare.
Yeah.
You always hear
the fucking music. The music fucks it up. You're like, oh, this music's happening. I know something's gonna fucking pop off.
And then like horror directors, they started catching on to the fact that people knew that was the audio cue for jump scares, and then they started like not doing jump scares after the audio cue.
So I'm a big fan of the original horror movies, but not to be on both sides. I think the times are a big part of it too, because back then, Michael Myers was so fucking scary. Because back then there were actual serial killers walking the streets. Yeah. You had Richard Ramirez. Yep. You had fucking John Wayne Gacy. You had fucking actual people that were like Michael Myers. So you're watching that and you're like, oh my god, like is he fucking out there right now? Not Michael Myers, but the actual serial killer. Yeah. And then now that, there's still people like that, but our fucking detectives or whatever the fuck you want to say keeps that type of people away. So now you're kind of like, that doesn't really scare you. But back then, it was real. Yeah. That shit was real shit. There was real motherfuckers just walking the street killing people and getting away with it.
All right, so there's this one movie I want to get you to watch. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the kill count on it. Shout out James A. Janice, who runs Kill Count at Dead Meat. One of my favorite series on YouTube.
Yeah, you told me about that one. I've watched a few of them because you put me on it. They're pretty badass.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like what he does. He gives you backstory on like certain kills or whatever. So he was talking about this new. So you're talking about it's a product of the times. Yeah. And there's some people who are excelling at the times, and there's some people that are just like being followers, sticking to the jump scare shit. That's why I love Jordan Peele, because I was gonna tell you the other day, but I guess we got caught up in the Dodger game or whatever. But I was like, the one thing I like about Jordan Peele is you could say that it doesn't scare you. We have a high, and you also have to admit too, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. We have a high scare tolerance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It'll take a lot to scare people like us.
Yeah. But especially me with no reflexes.
Yeah, you have to. yeah, for sure. There's the amount of times I've scared you, and you were like, "Wow, you got me," and I was like, "What, dude?"
I was literally legit scared. I just don't have reflexes.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna knock me the fuck out one day, and I'm not gonna even fucking flinch to block it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got a good chin.
Yeah.
So
I hope.
Back, at least.
I hope. Yeah. So to your point though.
Oh, I was saying, so like the thing with Jordan Peele is what I love about Jordan Peele is I'm not coming to you saying like Jordan Peele he scares me, but what I love about Jordan Peele is he's so smart. Mm-hmm. I watch like Get Out and I'm like, this is so smart.
It's just he gets into the story.
Well thought out.
Yeah, he gets into the story, and that's what we're talking about. It's not about the jump scares; it's about getting people bought into that story.
Yeah,
you know, and a lot of people don't do that no more.
Yeah, like he's twisted, and like he kind of brings back like that old school thing, and you have to give him the benefit of the doubt too. There's nothing much original to go off of.
Yeah,
they Clyde Barker and all them. They kind of like with Hell or serial killers, like that's kind of like been there, done that as far as like things that scare people.
Yeah. So
he doesn't have much to pick from as far as like trying to make something original. So like you gotta you have to tip your hat off to him because you've never heard of like a horror like movie about like doppelgangers coming to kill you and shit. Like that's pretty cool. And then Get Out, where he's got like I love Get Out. I think that's a masterpiece. When you think you ask me like what movies I think are like near perfect or like masterpieces, I think Get Out's one of them. If we're including scares, maybe not because it didn't scare me that much, but it did get me like on the edge of my seat a few times, and I was like, this is crazy. Like Jordan Peele's this generation's horror movie, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he gets you with the twist. He gets you in your head, making you think about things. Like,
I think where he gets you is because he has such a great story. So you get bought into the story, and that's what you're focusing on is the story and how it's progressing. And all of a sudden, boom, something happens. You're like, oh shit!
Yeah,
because your brain starts to get focused on the good story.
Yeah,
of the situation, and that's smart fucking movie making right there.
And I'm gonna try to bring you to the dark side of Jordan Peele because you always say like what made like Halloween cool and scary was they didn't get you with the jump scares, but you'd see Michael in the back rolling up on somebody, and it'd be like a one-shot take of like the girl running away trying to unlock a door or something, and he's just like walking up slow to you, like, oh shit!
Yeah, the anticipation.
Yeah, the anticipation that scares you. He did a lot of that in Us.
Yeah.
They're like that one scene where like I think it was one of the siblings. They were like they were throwing down the like the drawers and shit, and you see the little kid like crawling on top of it, and it was like a one-shot take where he was like like all scary and shit. And you're like, oh, you scary ass fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they had a lot of moments like that.
You know what I think makes him so talented is he's becoming a horror icon.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there yet, but he's getting there.
Oh, he's gonna get there, yeah.
But what's crazy is he's already a comedic icon.
Hell yeah.
Like to tackle both genres that's fucking legend status type of shit right there.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to be a funny motherfucker and put on some funny ass skits, funny ass movies, and then get into the horror and do the same thing and actually excel at it. Like, shout out to him, dude.
Yeah.
Big time.
And I was telling you about this a year ago. I don't know, whatever, but
like Danny McBride.
Yeah, I was like, I remember when we heard the news that he was working on helping with the Halloween remake.
You know, that's like, my favorite. Halloween's my favorite. Michael Myers, my guy. The Shape. Shout out to The Shape.
Yeah.
But like when I heard a comedic guy, I was like, I didn't know how I felt about it. Yeah. And then when I watched it and how they paid homage to all the original movies and small certain things here and there, from the small details of having the hole in the mask on his neck, where in the first one he got hit with the fucking sewing thing.
Yeah.
Like, those are small details that people miss, and you're like, that's fucking badass. Yeah. He paid attention to and he nailed the music. Like, we made fun of the whole point earlier that the music lets you know when there's jump scares, but the music on Halloween is iconic.
I think I'm going to further your point. I think what made music now, they use music in a way to try to scare you, but back then, music was iconic.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And then you got the Halloween. Yeah. You got the Nightmare on Elm Street. Some of the most recognizable, most iconic theme songs.
Just by hearing it, you know what it is.
Yeah. Like you said, John Carpenter killed that shit with his sons or whatever on the remake.
Yeah.
With the guitar.
It was Mustafa Akid's son.
Oh, okay.
Mustafa Akid made 4 and 5, I believe. And his son, would Danny McBride and other guys make this one? John Carpenter made the first one, and then Mustafa Akid made the other ones. Oh,
so I was going to make a point, and then I got sidetracked on Jordan Peele. I was going to tell you, so there's, to go with the times, you were saying, like, they're having to go with the times now. Dead Meat Podcast did an episode on this supernatural horror movie that apparently is really, really good, and it's a hidden footage movie based on, like, a Zoom call. And I heard it's really good. So I'm gonna figure out what the name is, and I'm gonna send it to you.
I feel like I've heard about it and seen it, and I don't remember not seen it, but I've seen the previews and.
Oh, like people talking about it.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are stoked on it. Like they're like, oh, like this is a good ass horror movie. They came out with something really good.
Has it been out for a minute?
It just came out, I think, this year.
Okay, because the one I'm thinking about came out like before even COVID and everything.
They came out with a few of like.
Okay, in that same type of.
Like that, it kind of almost has its own subgenre. How many internet.
Okay, I might be thinking of something else.
Okay, you're thinking of Friended.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Friended, but it's one thing that James J. Denise said in the Kill Count was he was like, the cool thing about it is it's in COVID times. There's social distancing, but they don't shove that in your face like a lot of movies are doing nowadays. Like a lot of movies that they come out with during COVID, they talk about COVID this, COVID that. Oh,
the mask and
but this one they don't. You know it's in the COVID times, and you know like they're social distancing, but they don't use that as like a story excuse. And apparently it's really cool.
Look that up for me. Let me know.
Yeah. You might think it's corny. But I remember there was a few scenes where I was like, oh, that's kind of freaky.
Yeah, I've been in a weird fucking horror fix lately. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 4: Dream Child.
Oh yeah.
By myself.
Yeah.
Just for the fuck of it.
I haven't seen a horror movie in a long time. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I have to you know how mom is with fucking Twilight and her movies. She has to get her fix every now and then. That's how I am with horror movies because mom obviously doesn't like them. I don't get to watch them all the time. So when I'm by myself, that's my chance to get my fix in of watching a horror movie. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little weird like that too. Like I have to get my fixes of fucking Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Leatherface, and all that shit. I just gotta get my fix. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was gonna say something about Train to Busan, but I like the point you were making, so I didn't interrupt you. But and I was thinking about because we still have the director on our screen. A lot of people are gonna say whatever about Korea, but they come out with some good shit.
Yeah.
Like the music, God, it's so overplayed. You know, music is a different thing. But my mom was saying like they come out with like some bomb ass shows and some bomb ass movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is from Korea. Yeah, South Korea.
South Korean film director.
Like Korea is they pump like
Yoon Song.
Yeah, and I think the movie that won that Oscar, Parasite, was.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I'm gonna watch
want
that.
to, though.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
I almost did the other day. I should have fucking watched it. Cause I try not to watch movies I know your mom's gonna want to watch or you guys want to watch by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this one might be something I could watch when I'm fucking bored or something in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, South Korean. Like Korea's pumping out some good shit. This won an Oscar, I think.
Yeah,
and
they won something for sure.
And it's thriller comedy. I thought it was like a horror movie thing, but apparently it's twisted too. Like this one's like twisted too, and it gets you with like apparently like the shots in this movie are like a masterpiece. Like apparently people talk. I'm gonna watch it now because I'm thinking about it. But people talk about this movie like it's Jesus. Like
really?
People are like this shit.
The Holy Grail.
This is movies. This is the Holy Grail. Yeah. Like they're saying like this is the El Dorado right here, like of movies. Like this is like a bomb ass movie. So I'm gonna give it I'm gonna watch it. Probably gonna go in there with super high expectations and get disappointed. But
that's our problem.
Yeah.
Is because we're movie buffs, dude. And like
yeah.
I always trip out and I laugh at like when we're talking to people and you and your sister Lizzie are like throwing out shit about movies. Like, oh, they're like, how the hell do you know about that movie? How do you know about this? And we're like, I raised you guys on movies, you know. Like, not to fucking talk about me, but I grew up like not in the most money. So our thing was we watched movies, dude. We watched fucking movie on movie, the fucking burn CDs you get at the liquor store and shit, the fake ones you throw them in and we watch. I love movies, and I think it's great that like you guys throw out shit to older people and they're like, what the fuck? How do you know that? You know?
Yep. I grew up on like Back to the Future and you know.
Little Monsters, fucking Monster Squad.
When I talk to people about Teen Wolf, they think I'm talking about the TV show, and I have to reiterate that I'm not talking about the TV show.
Yeah, the OG movie.
Fox.
Yeah.
And then nobody's seen Monster Squad, which is crazy.
That's a great movie.
One of my favorite movies ever. Yeah. But yeah, Jordan Peele. Can't wait for Candyman. When is that coming out? Candy. Man, 2021.
This year.
Release date. Okay, I guess they said it's coming out, but they haven't told anybody. And one thing I like too.
Hey, hit that right there where it says it's Candyman 2021 a sequel. Because I want to know if they're doing their own thing or if it is a sequel.
Reboot of the classic horror movie.
Oh, so it's a
theaters in
reboot.
August. Ooh, August. That's soon. The latest movie in the Candyman franchise hits theaters later and is a direct sequel to the classic 1992 Super.
So it is a sequel. So this is technically a part 2 then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Jordan Peele's the man. I think he's gonna kill it.
So do I.
But one thing I like about Jordan Peele though, that not a lot of people talk about because he doesn't brag about it. One thing I hate is people who talk about a certain subject and then like the people who talk the talk and don't walk the walk.
Yeah.
One thing with Jordan Peele.
Can't live up to the hype.
Yeah. One thing I hate about people is like, you know, they'll always. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make, but one thing I just love about Jordan Peele is like, you know, everybody knows that like, you know, black actors aren't really like, they aren't given like the spotlight. There's only a few hidden gems, but you can name like 100 white actors with a few like great, amazing black actors. And Jordan Peele,
there's not a lot of Denzels out there.
No, dude.
Because you can't name one bad Denzel Washington movie.
No.
I can't name one movie that he made that I was like, eh. Like every fucking movie that guy made is fucking legit.
Yeah, I can name like some of my favorite actors that are black on both hands probably. I could probably get 10. It'd probably be hard.
Denzel, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, so he
I'm talking old school though.
Yeah, so Jordan, what he does, and through all his movies, his movies are primarily black people. He doesn't tell you. He's not like, by the way, I only make the black, like, he doesn't, like, just talk about it, where it's, like, kind of obnoxious, like, ugh. You know, okay, so the point I was making, this is what I was going to make. So, like, the feminists, right, this is going to be controversial.
Oh, shit.
But the feminists...
We're going to get canceled on our second fucking episode.
Yeah, right. The feminists are always saying, like, you know, oh, nobody wants to, you know, do, like, female-led movies. And then you'll hear shit like that, and you'll be like I think where I got that from was a director of... like like a female director of one of like the like Atomic Bomb or some bum ass like female led movie. She was like, I wanted to do one because like there's not a lot of female led badass. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Alien?
Have you ever seen Alien or Halloween?
Fucking Sigourney Weaver.
Dude.
Fuck, come on. She's like legit in that movie, dude.
They say shit like that, and then they'll like, and then you'll be like, what are you talking about? You obviously don't watch movies.
The Scream Queen.
Dude, like, some of my favorite movies were female led.
Yeah.
You're making it seem like females are like ass actors and they need to bring brought into the spotlight because they don't have. Dude, some of my favorite movies were female led.
Yeah.
You're disrespecting like. I don't know, like
maybe it's their bum ass writing, or like bum ass producing. It's not the women or the men. It's maybe they gotta make
some better
writers for women led parts.
I will say, like Oscars do bullshit a lot with the nominations. Like sometimes you'll be like, there was this really dope black director and he didn't get shit, or this really dope female director she didn't get shit. Like there's still racism and sexism. I'm not saying there isn't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I hate when people say shit like that, and you're like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they're not educating the movies.
Yeah, so like Jordan Peele's like, I want more. There's a lot, but I want more. But I'm not gonna tell you about. I'm gonna make you watch my movie because you love me from Key and Peele, and you're gonna be like, that was the craziest shit I ever watched, and I loved the actor in it. I just feel like it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when people make statements like that. I don't know why. It doesn't spark from sexism or racism or whatever, but when people say shit like that. I don't know if I go in with a weird expectation that they're gonna be whatever, but like I just hate when people say shit like put the movie out, and then let me be like that she was a dope actress in that movie, like she killed it. You know what? She was also a woman too. That's dope. Yeah. Let the women be empowering without saying that they're being empowering.
Yeah, because you're taking away their power by fucking trying to throw in there that you're empowering them.
I agree. A lot of people are gonna think that's sexist, but I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Like, let the people... It's kind of like a cool thing, like, a fuck you to all the misogynistic people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just put a movie out like that with a female-led actress and you don't say anything. You don't say, like, this is empowering to whatever. This woman is making a change. If you don't say... If you put it out and you make all the people who are misogynistic or sexist watch that movie and they're like, that's a dope movie, that's kind of like...
You know what's another one? Kill Bill.
Yeah.
3 fucking great movies that was women-led.
Yup. You put that movie out, and then you can make fun of them yourself. That they're not conscious of the fact that they just watched an empowering woman just whoop ass on a mainstream movie.
That's the way you do it.
That's the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with him, he doesn't say anything. But you watch these movies, and you're like, that black actor is dope.
I didn't know until you said that he hires nothing but...
His movies
are nothing but that.
And he's not being... Like, he has white actors in his movies. And I think the funny part is like the fun thing that he does too, like as a mind game and everybody, because you know how for years it was a joke that black people always got killed first in horror movies.
Yeah.
I think white people are the people who get killed first in all his movies. If you watch it, it's kind of like a mind game with everybody. You know what I mean? Like
a little shot back,
turning the tables. Yeah.
That's dope.
So I just love that he does that. And some of the best actors now, black actors, came from his movies. I think Daniel Kaluuya, I think his name is. He's one of my favorite black actors right now.
Kaluuya's a great drink.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. He's one of my favorite actors now.
Oh yeah, he's up and coming big time. Dude. He's making some great movies, dude.
Dude, won an Oscar.
Great fucking movies.
Great actor. Got to start with Get Out, I think. I think that's where he started becoming known. That's when people started saying his name was with Get Out.
Yeah, because after Get Out, he got Black Panther.
Yep, and then
well, all his guys
Duke Winston, I think.
All his guys went from his movie to fucking Black Panther.
Yeah, I think his name was Duke Winston. I think Duke Winston. I think his name's Duke Winston. Something Winston Duke flipped.
Yeah.
He did Black Panther before us, but his name got pushed out more because of Jordan Peele. I like that Jordan Peele is making us aware of these dope, like A-list, like celebrity,
get him in there.
Dope actors, and just not saying that he's gonna, but kind of making you just be like, you know what? I've seen that dude in that one movie.
Oh shit! Look at his birthday.
He's a great actor.
It's a few days before my birthday, and he's like only 2 years younger than me.
So I love that Jordan Peele's doing that. Most of his movies are black-led movies, and they're like, look at this guy right here, Lakeith Stanfield. He's also a great actor. He also gets a lot of roles. Amazing actor as well. And then I think I've seen this guy. Yeah, this guy's the guy from
I thought that was Uriah Hall.
Yeah, no, this is the he does look like Uriah Hall. This is the guy from Aquaman.
Yeah.
He plays
Yeah, I know
Beetle
yeah.
and whatever. Yeah, he just like I love that he does that because I think that's cool. Quick.
There more. They had two other Candymans, Candyman 3. I didn't even know they had a second one.
They did come out with Candymans, yeah. I seen the kill counts on them. I heard they were ass though.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Well, it must be that. I didn't even fucking know.
Amazing director. He just introduces the world to amazing actors as well. Like, I mean, we know like black people could act. Chadwick Boseman, Denzel Washington, some of my favorite actors ever. And I'm glad that he's
Well, it shouldn't be about color. Like anybody could do it. It's about the art.
Yeah.
You know, it should be about the art. It shouldn't be about if it was male, female, or the color. It should be about the art of it. Because to your point, there's great ones in everything, but people make it about color, and then they because of they make it about color, they keep certain ones out, and they don't get the recognition. You know, and now they're allowing them in, like he is with Candyman and fucking Us and Get Out, and we're seeing them, and they're fucking prospering now. Because he's allowing them to get out there.
It takes people like Jordan Peele to open the doors up for people like that, in my opinion. Like, what's her name?
I wonder who opened the door for him.
I think he got in himself.
I feel like it was. I think who really started it was the Wayans family, Keenen Ivory Wayans with and Living Color. He helped all his brothers, Sean and Marlon, Damon. Mm-hmm. All of them came out, and then like it fucking blew up from there, you know. And then it started. Then you got Key and Peele, you know.
Speaking of black actors, I miss the black comedian actors in movies. The Eddie Murphys, the Wayans. I hope the Wayans come back.
Yeah.
Because they gave you the most laughs.
They're fucking hilarious, yeah.
I'm glad Eddie Murphy's making a comeback. And then,
have you seen Coming to America 2 yet?
No.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Wesley Snipes.
I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, no? What the fuck? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I heard those are like some of the funniest movies ever made.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I love Jordan Peele.
We're about to fucking max out our next fucking...
Yeah.
Beat our last record.
So I think that's all we could talk about. We're probably going to get canceled after this one, but...
Did we settle in on a name yet, or are we still gonna?
It should be. I don't want to say anything.
So we're not gonna.
Just because I don't want to like. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling with stuff like this. So I don't think we locked in on one yet, but we have ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the ideas we're getting good ideas.
Shout out to everybody that on the Facebook post or YouTube or on Instagram put out ideas to help us get things. We appreciate it. The first video had like 162 views.
Probably more.
We're at 27 subscribers, probably more. So thank you guys. Keep watching. Keep sharing it with your friends. You know, we appreciate it. Subscribe, please. Hit like and subscribe, even if you scroll through for certain points. I know it's hard for you to sit down. Some people are not podcast people. No. Like, I like to listen to podcasts on my way to work because I have a long drive and my way home. But if you skim through it still, hit that like for us. Hit that subscribe button. Try and share it.
Yep. And thanks to everybody who watched this one, who listened to it all the way through. I know a lot of people say it's a late one. Yeah, it is a late one.
It's already midnight. It's already the next day.
We started setting up at 9. But, yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in. We're going to come back again next week. So we want to let everybody know, this is one thing we can't confirm. We're coming out with podcasts every Monday. Yeah. We're coming out with the show every Monday.
We record them Saturdays. X does his editing on Sunday, and we're trying to post them by Monday. Yeah. So on your way to work, on your commute to get your week started, no matter how much you hate your fucking job, listen to us, get some laughs, and get your day started with a smile.
Yeah. And then, so I think that's all we got to say. So Mondays, and then we're coming up with a name. Make sure you subscribe, because if you don't, you won't see us in your inbox. But if you do, like off of like a YouTube suggestion, more than likely, before the next episode, we're gonna have a complete revamp of the channel: banner, logo, name, everything. Yeah. So if you don't subscribe, you're probably gonna see our name of whatever the name is, and you're probably like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, you won't realize it's us.
You won't realize it's us, and then you won't click on the and click and watch or whatever, and you're gonna be like, whatever happened to that podcast?
Yeah.
So
they were so good.
Yeah.
Those handsome fucking guys.
Yeah. So subscribe. I think, and then like the video, and then comment down below. We, as you guys can tell, you guys can influence the episodes. If you have anything you want us to talk about, if you know us personally, shoot us up in the DMs. But more notably, we do, read all the comments. So comment down below if you don't know us personally or don't have our information personally. I did forget in the last episode though to shout out all my social medias, because I do have public social medias that I just post a lot of bullshit on. So you can get me at Twitter at Bucky Barney, and then Twitch at Bucky Barney, 2 Y's at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget the letters, because they're like...
Yeah, 2 Y's at the end, and then you could get me at Xander MV3 at Instagram. And then I think that's it. I don't know if you have any public social medias.
Nah, I'll just stick with the podcast ones, yeah.
So if you want to find him, you come back every Monday. How about that?
Yeah.
So thanks everybody who tuned in, and I think that's that.
See you next week. You better fucking show up.